Leading us off this week is a story from Ken Silva about how the FBI is defending an undercover agent who provoked the 2015 ISIS-inspired Garland, Texas shooting. The shooting in Garland happened at a contest to draw the Prophet Muhammad, in which the FBI had monitored the shooters for years. Not only that, the Bureau allowed one of the shooters to purchase a weapon from a gun store involved in the Operation Fast and Furious scandal. Remember that criminal act from the Obama administration that everyone got away with? To top it off, an undercover FBI agent encouraged this shooting by telling the attackers beforehand to tear up Texas. I don't think that was a college football reference here. My favorite part is when the local police attempt to arrest the undercover FBI agent after the shooting, and then the other FBI agents show up, throw a bag over his head, and whisk him away. It's like something out of a mockumentary. The scene is just so absurdly absurd. But of course, because institution first, justice last, the FBI continues to defend itself by saying everything was just a total coincidence. You know, like Epstein, the Trump shootings, everything important. They claim their undercover agent was there stalking another potential Mark, Patsy, Fall Guy, or whatever. Where do you think this ranks on the list of FBI coincidences? Leave a comment under this video on X and give us a follow. Next, we have a story from Jose Nino about President Trump declaring war on Thomas Massie ahead of Massie's 2026 primary. Jose's article is following reporting from Axios claiming that Massie was in Donald Trump's crosshairs. What is he, Dick Cheney? Massie, who in a recent post on X claimed that Trump's super-duper successful nuclear site attacks on Iran weren't constitutional. So in classic fashion, instead of pointing out where Massie was wrong by demonstrating how very, very constitutional they were, instead Trump responded that Massie is weak, disrespectful to our great military, and that Massie is not MAGA. Massie, aside from making a statement that could only be responded to by name-calling and faux shaming, is easily labeled as not MAGA. Massie, who is only one of two House Republicans who voted against Trump's big beautiful bill last month, Trump then declared that Massie should be voted out of office. How can a lame duck president make that happen? By a $500 million political operation, that's how. The latest product of that operation being called Kentucky MAGA. I like mine extra crispy. And is dedicated to defeating Massie in the May 2026 primaries. The Super PAC's leaders, Tony Fabrizio and Chris LaCivita, said the group would spend whatever it takes to defeat Massie. What that sounds like to me is, that's a nice defender of the Constitution you got there. It would be a shame if something happened to him. What do you think? Leave a comment under this article on HeadlineUSA.com. In more coverage about the FBI's shamelessness regarding the victims and families of the Trump shooting in Butler, PA last year, Ken Silva has a story about Dan Bongino, telling the wife of the slain fireman that the gunman acted alone. Helen Comperatore's husband, Corey, was that fireman, and according to an interview on the Dr. Drew Pinsky show, she told the world that she's finally been briefed by the FBI. She then told Dr. Drew that she recently spoke with FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, who told her that alleged would-be assassin Thomas Crooks acted alone when he shot at Donald Trump, killing her husband Corey and seriously wounding at least two others in the process. Helen said that Bongino spoke to her for a long time. Talk about narrative management. and that it was the first time in 11 months that she had even heard from anybody. She claims that after what Bongino told her, that the FBI is going to come out in a couple weeks to the public and say that it's the shooter and nothing else. Sounds to me like that matches up pretty well with what we've seen from Kashyap Patel and Bongino these past few weeks, don't it? Tell us how you feel about the FBI's treatment of Helen after her husband was honored by our president with his uniform on stage. Right below this video in the comments on YouTube. And make sure to subscribe. And last this week, finally, after 8 years, we're left with even more questions about the 2017 Las Vegas shooting, including, why did the Las Vegas Metro Police not release this footage? Why did they lie to the public and ignore a court order to release it? The footage is from the body cam of LVMP officer Levi Hancock, who located a dead Stephen Paddock, the alleged shooter, with an apparent head wound. Hancock also, on the video, reads a casino player's card for Paddock's girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley. Shout out to the YouTube channel Las Vegas Shooting Archive for explaining that they found the video because it was provided by police to Paramount Plus for a 2022 documentary called 11 Minutes. And it took roughly 3 years for an investigator to notice that the footage was used in the doc. Good eye there, pal. But however, the FBI nor local police have still never determined a motive for Paddock. There have been some reports, though, about his walking around telling people he was a government experiment, and other reports have stated Paddock would lie in bed moaning and screaming in mental anguish. Another from an acquaintance of Paddock, Jim Nixon, claims that Paddock told him he was having deranged dreams telling him to go on a killing spree. I wonder if that's a listed side effect for diazepam. For more stories like this, subscribe on Headline USA and get these stories delivered to your inbox. Come back next week to see what makes the tape.